Hi, welcome back to my series on Transport Fever 2. This is Race to the North, episode 2. Uh, and we got a lot done in episode 1. It was really a setup episode just to get started, of course, but we really did get a lot done. If we jump up here and look at Southampton, Portsmouth, we've got a single train running to 4 stations around the city, and I can already see that the city is starting to expand. If we take a fly over Brighton, we've done very similar. We have 4 stations here. We have one to the right, trains pulling in here. It's just a very small train with only 4 passenger carriages on it. But we are moving passengers. We do have passengers on the platform, um, and a second station here. And it goes around the corner down to this corner here. Brighton is a lot more of a fuller city. It's a larger city, and I would imagine it will generate even more passengers. If we cross the river here, jump over to Hastings, we did the same over here. Except we did not put a station on this corner. I'm, I'm not sure whether that was a good choice. I probably could have centralized this station a little better. I put this one in thinking I was going to put one on this corner. Um, but Hastings is a densely populated city as well, and I would imagine that this will generate a ton of passengers as well. So let's get into the game. We have just flicked straight back to Southampton, where I started. Um, at the end of the first episode, we had like picked up our first passengers. Literally picked up our first, I think it was 3 or 4 passengers here at Southampton West, and we now have 49 that want to come up here to Southampton, and 9 going down to what is this called, Portsmouth West. And look at that, the ratio is like 5 to 1. And I'm just thinking, instead of him coming in and picking up the 10 going that way, I'm just thinking, do we skip this station and go straight down to Portsmouth West? And it just picks up everyone here that goes to Southampton. And then once there's a second train on the line, they could then jump on the other train to make a connection. Or they could run around here and then they would run back and they would run all the way down. So I don't think I'll lose the passengers. I think they would just have like a longer trip. Not really sure. Um, but we have our first full load of 24. We're about to click over to the 1st of April, and we've just ran our first quarter. I'm pretty sure I have quarters for the calendar. Yes, I do. Financially, we are not doing great. Um, so the first 3 quarters there are not me. Well, they kind of a bit of both, I guess, because yeah, it's showing the 63,000 that I had incurred in cost in no the 200,000 is this month. So we're down 256,000. 54 of that is loan interest, and 233 is running cost on the railway line that and all we own is a railway, 3 railway lines, with stations and infrastructure that goes along with it. I'm going to just pause it for half a second here, and let's look at what we can do this episode. So I really would like to have maybe a couple of stagecoaches that attack the middle and get a little bit of the the passenger traffic from the center here. But the center isn't going to fill out for a little while. It is respawning as we speak, and expanding. But I don't think that needs to be the focus this episode. Maybe next time. Um, I would like to focus a little bit on roads because if they start filling this out quite quickly, I would like to put my own roads in some of these places. But for example, they just extended that road and put a building in there, which makes it, like, yeah, and just building a road here for the city to sort of, I think it's quite expensive, right? If I build a road there and say bend all the way around to there, what's that? That's 10 grand, 11, 12 grand. Well, I would like to do that, but I don't. I think I'm just going to have to live with whatever mess they create, and later on, when I'm a multi-millionaire, you know, or a billionaire, rearrange my cities a little bit. But so I think I'm going to have to live with the roads. I don't know that I have a choice about that. But if they are expanding, I do know that if they do fill this out, they'll want to take over these type of roads that are out here, which is which is why I got rid of this road. I don't want them to cross the tracks, and it costs me nothing to delete roads, right? So I don't want them actually doing anything with any roads that are out here. I can't afford to even make them my roads because then I incur a a maintenance cost on the roads. I could have cut this off last episode. No, I couldn't. They were already built there, weren't they? Um, yeah, so they're definitely going to expand into this area, but I have a station here, so I don't mind that. I don't want them turning these roads into city roads. Definitely don't want that. And if I'm going to connect to these industries a little bit later, that cost of putting those roads back in won't bother me. Okay, so if they build into here, that's not an issue. If they want to build on this side, and they'll expand this way, that's not an issue. Where's my station? Here. So I don't have a problem if they come out here and use any of those roads. I do have a problem here. Look at this. I don't want them. And this section of the road here is they will definitely build on that. I'm almost certain of it. So while I would want to use this road, maybe to bring the logs out of here, I don't mind them if they expand into this corner here, right? Or even up around here, but I don't want them that they would generally go and grab that road there and start building on it straight up. They would start that off as a city road, and then they would expand all around here. And and while in the future that might be fine, um, for now I'd prefer them to expand here, fill out this ringed part of the city, and extend here. I'd rather them, you know, extend out this way, fill in the ringed part of the city, and extend this way, and then yeah, extend it anywhere in here, fill out the ringed section of and even if you want to, expand on both sides of this railway track, Yeah, so I would like to build a road, say, around there. Yeah, and it runs up there. I wouldn't mind that. A road that runs parallel there. And then even they could even expand up into this section here in the future, on this side of and start coming around on this side of the railway line. But I don't want them just jumping straight across here and start building on this side. Obviously, my passenger line's going to expand, and I'm going to want um, goods coming into the city, and there's factories right near the cities. So I'd want to have a goods line in here more than likely. Yeah. And goods coming in from all around the area, I'd want goods to come into here. Anyway, so I can't really afford to spend on the roads at the moment. I don't really need stagecoaches in the middle here, so I'm not covering this area here. Now, I do want that area covered and get them to the rail lines, but we've got so much of these three cities covered simply by the stations that we have, and that'll generate some expansion. That I think it's probably more important that we take advantage of the three links now first. I was going to finish off the cities, as in stagecoaches, maybe second train in each of the cities, but I think we start right now with extending our loan. I I think we should start by extending the loan to 10 million. That gives me almost 4 million, right? And then extending each one of these. And I'd be prepared to go a little bit more. Okay, so we want to configure the stations. Now, I don't know, I could let me think this one out aloud. I could use the existing platforms, right? That wouldn't be a problem. If I built a second platform here, then we'd be ready to go with two trains on the city circle. If I built the platform, I could use this track or the outside, right on the outside track, to be the city link, because really in the future I'm going to want to use the two insides for the city circle. And then the link in the between the cities, I'd want a double track on that next section. So do I want to think about that now, or do I want to just bring it in? It makes a difference of like my track that's going to be linking. I guess to spend, I'd be spending 18,000 and not really using it. Let's try it with Southampton here and see what it costs me. I'll show you what I'm suggesting. We could keep it at just an 80-meter section as well. So what I'm saying is I'll put the platform here, and then I guess I spent 36,000 that I didn't need to spend here. Oh, we need to put a link. We probably should put the link in, right? The underground passageway, so passengers can get from one side to the other. That doesn't cost me anything. Okay, so what I'm saying is this rail line will go straight out across. And instead of this rail line being the one that goes straight across, this will be the city circle, and this will be the double track for the city link for the Intercity. And we'll come all the way across here. Oh, and then we've got to turn in here. So I was thinking of doing the same here. And the fact that I would have two platforms would mean one train could come in on one side and the Hastings train could actually come in on the other side. So here it might even be worthwhile doing it. Do the 80 meters in the middle. Let's have a look. Or do I spend all of the money on tracks? So what I'm thinking is doing it in the middle here, then platform, and then tracks. Yeah, and then we can actually use this inside line here for one side and the outside line for the other. Yeah, okay. And then let's jump over here and we can do the same thing here. And we'll build it on this side. Oh, damn it. I only get 75% back, don't I? Wasted money. Don't worry, won't be the first time. But I think this makes sense, right? I don't know. It is a little bit of wasted money. At this point in the game, it doesn't make sense for me to waste money. It's a weird little roundabout there, isn't it? But could act as like a little bus stop. That, like, they put that in there for me, but that could act as a bus stop instead of trying to put a bus terminal in there at the beginning. All right, so that would be the stations done. Now I've got to get a track link, and like I said, I think I'll start with that. Then what are we going to do? We've got to turn. Now I already started with this one coming out, but that can't be the link line. That's what made me think of it. I was looking at it just before I started the episode, and I thought that can't be, this one here can't be the link to Hastings. That it'll just make this line way too busy. You know, in 10 minutes into the game, I'll already be looking at trying to change that. So we're going to cross the bridge down here, and what are we aiming for? We're aiming for, we're actually aiming for almost out to the meet out there, aren't we? I don't mind this straight track here. I always like straight tracks coming out of my stations, and then we start working out where we're going and what are we doing. 400,000 with the bridge there, right? Okay, that's expensive, but what do you do? Well, we're raised a bit, so we've got a lot of raised ground here that I don't want to pay for all that raised ground. That doesn't make sense, almost the whole way. All right, so pick a point, Sims. So this is what I like to do when I'm building my track up. I'm going to cancel that, but I should be able to pick up that point there, right? And while it's not exactly the same turn, we'll go there, and then we'll go the rest of the way. Let's have a look now. We're paying for, yeah, it's not as bad though. That was 114,000 and 174. That's 300. That's just not as bad. So I'm going to pick this point now. What is it going to be? Straight track, right? Yeah, let's go straight track. Is that ground level? Yes, it is. So we'll go ground level to there. And in the long run, that's heaps cheaper than building the raised track. Well, obviously it was raised because what? It drops down here and then picks back up and comes up here. So we must be in a bit of, in this forest here, it must drop, the ground must drop down lower. You just can't see it. Okay, well, this is a much longer trip, right? What are we looking at here? Oh, there we are over there. All right, well, how about we straight line this? Okay, we got to be careful of the same thing happening. Yeah, look. Oh, this is a high point. Let's have a look at this. Okay, that's a high point there, and it's just raised through here. Does that make this a bit of a hill? So if we go here, does it now cut through here? Yeah, it does. So this isn't the low point. It's just, look, there's just a hill in front of us. So I think I'd rather cut through the hill and keep the rest of this level. That's level. Okay, and are we aiming in the correct direction? Looks like it. 200,000, straight track with a small cut through. I will take a lot of notice of my terrain. In particularly in the early game, because this lays the foundation for like when you 4-track this or 6-track it, or you know, link into it with other lines. I think we now have to come out from this one straight, right? Okay, so we'll come out from this one straight into the forest here. And then, well, I want to aim for just short of the forest and try and get, I said just short of the forest, right? Yeah, probably back a little bit. We'll get a bit of a turn here. Like a natural turn. It's not like when you pick something and then it has to, like, it's way out. It's like that just naturally slides into there. If the turn is like forced and it's got to readjust the turn, I'll regret that later on when this becomes like a 6-track high-speed line at the end of the game. I'll have to rethink, you know, all of my turns and where the tracks are. And because I've just got to the end game of my last series, I'm really conscious of some of the things I have at end game that are a result of decisions I made back in episode 2, you know. So we got to cut through here, that's fine. And this is Southampton. Now, at Southampton, we don't need the second track, right? But here, what if we gave them the option, right? So in the future, that will be, In the future, that might be a double track down there. It will be. And then this will be some sort of a crossover. More than likely not. They're straight through trains. It'd only be a crossover at the dead end. So there won't even be a crossover there. And then what we can do is just put in a... Well, let's go to here. 60's good, right? I like 60. And we do the same on this side. It will end up going around the corner there in the future. Let's do that. And then this one can do 60 on this side. And now we've got room for 2 trains to pull in here. Without getting in each other's way or getting in the way of the City Circle train. We'll need some signals here. So on a single line with a single train, you want them to come all the way to here, make a decision on which platform they're going to, which platform is available. And even if this link was, even if this link to this platform was not here, if you have 2 trains using the one platform in the middle here, you have to let the train come all the way up to here, and then when the station is free, then they pull in. Like when the Hastings train leaves, then the Southampton train can pull in. Otherwise, if the Hastings train is on its way to this station, then it owns the line, and the Southampton train won't even leave the platform down this end. So if you've got trains that are not leaving your platform down this end, it's purely because someone else is on their way to this platform. Even on their way, they don't even have to be in the platform. If you don't put any signaling here, you want your Southampton train to get to here and then have a look and say, oh, the platform's available. And then you want the same on this side. And that's really the only signaling you would need on a setup like this. Whether this cross track is here or whether there's 2 platforms or not, you still need this signal. You could place it like right up here at the station on both sides and like just get to here, and then if the station's free, jump into the station. It'll also help us later when we double track this, I guess, because we'll want passing lanes later on. Okay. We've got a train here that we can come out of, and that can be the Southampton train that'll go down that way. Does it have access to the line? No, Sims, it doesn't. It doesn't have access to the line. None of these trains will have access to here. So this one could be the Hastings. This one will have to be the Hastings to here line. Okay, let's put the lines in quickly. I think we'll make Brighton the center of the universe for now, and we'll say new line, and we'll make it Hastings to Brighton, and we will call this Hastings to Brighton. That's pretty straightforward, right? And then we'll say new line, and we'll call this one Southampton to Brighton. And look at that, they picked 2 different platforms for us. We love you. And that's train Passenger Express Southampton to Brighton. Okay, so we got our lines in. I could put both trains out of here on a double switch. That's going to work, isn't it? And I could tell both trains to jump out here. One of them will pull in here and turn back. One of them will pull in here and... Okay, so we need 2 trains, and we really do want the Southampton first. Get that down the other end of the line. What have we got to spend? We've got 3 million left over. So 2 trains at $1 million a pop. I think that's it, right? We'll spend $1 million on each train, and then let's see what we get for $1 million, all right? So we're using the Russian class here in this area. I prefer the speed. I prefer the 45 over anything, especially on this line. I mean, I could have used one of these on the city circle lines. Probably, I would have preferred the tractive and the extra horsepower on the city circle line where they're constantly stopping. I don't even know that they get over 40, to be honest, on most of those lines, especially once they're carrying passengers. So I could have used, probably should have used those on the city, but we're sticking with these. And now that's the train that we already have. It's an 800,000 train that we have on our lines. What about 6 cars? I think we go 6 cars for $1 million. So we'll buy 2 of those. Now, what's the order again? If I put the Southampton out second, it will actually pull out first. So if I say Hastings to Brighton on the first one, and then Southampton to Brighton, that one will come out first. Now we have 800,000 left. What are our numbers on here? 17. This will be one of the big. Let me just double check this line. How do I do that? Like this, goes to east, north Brighton, west, Brighton, north, east, north. Yeah, okay, that one's right. This is going to be a busy station here. No, that's not a busy station. Oh, did they just pick up there? No, where's the train? Around here. No, so that's not busy. Let's have a look at the... Let me just confirm that I got the lines right before I press play again. We've got Hastings to east to west. No, this one isn't right. We want Hastings to east to Hastings to west. That's better. Okay, and with this one, I was actually thinking of changing this one. Mainly because of the 37 that are here. We can't carry. What's There's 15 going around the other side now, which it's almost a full. Maybe I'll leave it for now. Okay. Maybe I change it when we get a second train on the line. I think that's what's a better choice. But with that many parts, I'm going to spend a few extra dollars to make this a 6-car train as well. What's that cost me? $283. We'll buy that. Now that I have some money left over, do I want to spend some money on some roads? Maybe a little bit. Let's not do a lot here, but road here. Okay, that's better. That's what I mean. I would like to take control here a little bit of. Like I don't need to spend a lot, right? I don't mind them. No, I do mind them. No, I don't mind them building. That's probably going to be a tighter there. I don't think that road should be there. And I'm going to let them pay to connect that and move that building if they want to do that. And they can do whatever they want in there. I was going to build a bus terminal there. What do we want up here? We want this road here to come down and then to loop around and come back to this one. No, I don't like this one. I want a road to come out of here and kind of follow the tracks here. This will end up double tracking, but if I don't put it right on top of the tracks, there might be enough room for me to double track this without disturbing the people that live here. What about something like that? And then I want them to join that together, and I don't want to pay for it. And then with this one, I want this one to come right down the middle like that. And then with this one, they can They can do that. I don't like this one here. I don't want to blow up buildings though. What does that cost? 25,000. But they're just going to put it straight back there. No, no. Look, try and, here we go, watch. Try and help them out with their decision, right? I want them to make the decision of putting the road through there. Like, I hate this. Look at this. This is terrible. And I can't blow it up without spending $200,000. All right, so if we do something like that, and then just straight line it. And then do that. Look, you made it look half decent. Look, it looks like a plan. Okay. I mean, I'm thinking of a bigger station here in the future, so what if I just do something like that? I don't want them to build any closer to there, and they probably will. And then here, I don't know, 200,000 for that. Jeez. Same principle around here, maybe. Just don't straight line it, curve it. Just curve it in a little tighter. What, through the middle here? Okay. Not bad, I guess. What do we got over here? Do we want, they're going to do something weird here, aren't they? Go to Skinny Road. What if you do... What if we do that? That might work. We don't want... Oh, no! No, I didn't even think... I just thought that... that just cost me money. I didn't want to spend money on blowing up houses. Damn it. Sims, what are you doing? Okay. No more building roads. You're banned. You're banned from building roads. I could have bought an extra couple of rail cars. Okay, this money is just going to vanish, this 300,000. It's just going to vanish in cost right at the beginning, isn't it? Are there any roads that you want to build here, Sims? Well, I did. I wanted to blow that up there and run that down and blow up that there and have that road go down into there, but that's not until later. And then I was thinking of gridding this up actually and put an actual grid in there. That's a mess. Look at that mess. Damn. No, I don't want to spend money on roads. All right, let's go. Let's go. Stop looking around. Where are the trains going to come out of? Let's press play. We're playing. Okay, here we go. Let's go, buddy. Get in there. I thought the Southampton would come out first. I was totally wrong. The the first train that I put in the list was the Brighton to Hastings, which is this train here, or Hastings to Brighton. We have 0 passengers, as expected, on the train. Mind you, there could be someone sneaking up onto the platform for this one. There is. We have our first customer, second customer. Did I put an underground link here? No, I did not. Oh, he didn't stop. Why didn't he stop? Hey, mate, come back. Why are you going? Why didn't... I'm thinking that his platform is on this side and there are no passengers on this side. Let's have a look at that. And that's why he didn't stop. Yep. He couldn't reach that first platform. But none of these passengers are for him anyway. These are all for Hastings to Brighton. We have 3 passengers. Okay. We do not have a link though. So let's get that done. In here. There we go. Okay. Now they've got somewhere to walk. Look at all these passengers here. We are... I was just shocked last episode after just a couple of months of play. How many Oh, we got a big symbol. What? A big symbol is 50. Holy. We've got 67. That's just going to... Okay, that's going to really expand. And I think my theory is probably correct. My theory is that everyone in this residential area has just sold their horse and carriage, right? Because they can get to their destination. So let's pick any random person here. We got Dexter Smith. Watch out, Dexter's on the prowl. He lives here, he shops here, and so he's not interested in going to a different city. But I can say that even though I cannot see across there, there we go, so he still goes shopping by car, but he is going to work, right? And so every one of these people can get to either their preferred shopping spot. Can I pick Dexter again out of that crowd? Is that serial killer looking guy that's just there? I'm not going to get Dexter again, but I don't think it really matters, does it? Where did you go, Dexter? He got spotted and he took off, right? Frederick here is going with lines, so he's going everywhere. Well, we can see where he wants to go. So he wants to go there, and he's going to walk. He's going to walk from that station because that station reaches it, right? Let's have a look. Yeah, that building there is where he wanted to go, right? He wants to go to the wine bar. And then like we can pick it. Oh. Where did I jump to? Wow. He was going to Hastings. Okay. Did you pick up the big group going to Southampton, or you're still going around to Portsmouth West? So you can handle the Portsmouth West, but we're now up to 100. I didn't expect it to be this crazy, but I thought that this would be the most busiest platform on the map at the beginning because they will all sell their horse and carriage, and then anyone within walking distance of of this platform will walk down here. But I think most people on the map are going to be able to access at least one of the two places. And then as soon as I get the 130 people out of here and to their destinations, then these will start being busy bringing the 133 back home. And like these two platforms here won't get busy, 16 and, well, nothing now, but what are we carrying, 15? These are nowhere near as busy because these passengers haven't gone there yet. But as soon as they go there, then those stations will become super busy as well. All right, let's have a look. Do we have any passengers? We have 6. Okay, 6 isn't bad, right? I mean, we're 6 months into the game. It is June, all right? This is a kind of a crazy start getting, within the first 6 months, getting our cities linked. 20 people. Whoa, that's great. Oh, okay. So Hastings Brighton, it will be the better one to start with on day one here because we have existing people traveling between, right? So we want to get the people off this road. Well, these are our potential customers on this train here. So we have a lot more potential customers to catch this train than these guys. They are losing money, but I don't know. Is this going to work, guys, or what? Does anyone know whether this will be successful? I mean, I do have a $10 million loan now. Look at you. Look at you smiling. You're having a great time, mate, aren't you? Loving it. Loving it. These aren't very comfortable rail cars, passenger cars that I have either, are they? I mean, they look like box cars that have been had some windows cut out of them and some seats put in it. Yeah, that's what they look like, box cars. 6 people are not going to make me much money. But I think I will call it a day. I mean, this is kind of cool. We're going through the forest now. Let's jump out of that. Let's look at the map. Oh, that's a big symbol. What's that? That's going to be 50 passengers sitting here, right? Oh, sorry, Molly. Oh, that's 50 for the whole station. Yeah, 40. Yeah, okay. That's for the whole station. Southampton to Brighton. 27 passengers. That's almost a full train load on the way back, right? What are you doing? Full. Dropping off? You're going to be dropping off. Oh, they're going to be dropping off a lot more passengers at these city links, right? Yeah, come on. Most of those passengers want to come across here. There they come. That's what we want. Oh, it's only a couple. Don't get too excited, Sims. No, look, there's more coming. There's more coming. It's okay. We're going 36 on the way back. Come on, 36. Fill her up. 29. Not bad. Okay, guys, I think we're getting close to the end of episode 2. We are running a fairly large deficit of 146,000, but I am hopeful that these intercity trains will start actually. Yeah, he's just made 58,000. So that's the Hastings train. And he is running back almost full. So things will only get better with these trains, especially with the cities now bringing in more passengers to pass in between each of the cities. What's this at now? Yeah, he's full. He's totally full. He can't actually hold any more passengers. And he's constantly running full out of here. Oh, yeah. I think I need to change this train so it doesn't actually do this run. That just focuses on the 160 that are here now. And then here comes our Southampton train. How many have you got waiting? A full train, hopefully? Yeah, 39. Okay. Can we get into the blue, please? Finances. Okay, last quarter we lost 258,000. 100,000 of that was loan interest for the $10 million loan, and then 158 in maintenance. We're already $84,000 down at the moment, so let's finish up for the day. Our only hope is for our trains to start making some real money, but with full loads, what is he going to make? Wow, he just made like almost $200,000 and picked up a full load. Well done, son. Well done. Keep it up, mate. Keep it up. You're doing a great job. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I see you next episode. Take care, and bye for now.